I understand that the regional boards, commissions, they're unelected. There are elected officials, but we only elected our officials for our towns. So those people are then branching off to be comprised a regional government that then can dip into the towns and say you need to comply with our plan. Well, I don't think they have any authority to do that, first of all. Perhaps the state law, the state plan of conservation and development, maybe that has more say, but I don't give any credibility, credence to anything that a regional government would have to imply to a town, first of all.
And again, just so you understand, the regional planning agency, whether it's Central Connecticut or Central Norfolk Valley, will ultimately have no say in this plan. They have no say in the plan.
But aren't you mirroring your anything? No, just the state.
Again, our plan is locally driven.
Mm-hmm.
It has to address consistency with the state plan of conservation development. I believe as part of the process, we have to send this to the regional planning agency.
Yeah, I think this.
But they don't dictate what goes in this plan.
So the backstory is, just for the commission, is this: the state passed legislation that said no town had to update their plan between 2010 and 2013, and the reason was the state at that time asked municipalities for input on what the state plan should say. They collected all of that input. They did meetings all over the state with communities, etc. If you go to OPM's website, they still have up the comments that they received, which were extremely detailed, for what towns wanted in the state plan. Now, the situation, the legislation changed, and for plans of conservation and development in Connecticut now, you're obligated to do three things. Number one is compare your recommendations with the state's plan, conservation and development policies plan. And what this is a map which identifies priority funding areas which the state is likely to try to encourage local activities by providing money for you. And so if you're inconsistent, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. And so what this plan points out is that the areas of the city that are zoned for our highest intensity growth, in the downtown, et cetera, are areas which they show as priority funding. So we're all on the same page here. We're to look at our plan, if you will, relative to the state responsible growth management principles. There are 6. We are consistent with those. So again, we are in good shape, if you will, in terms of promoting consistency and getting funding. And the last thing we need to do is to compare our plan with the regional plan. We're in kind of a funny position here because as of midnight tomorrow, CCRPA no longer exists, but this is the regional plan we have. And again, their plan is really sort of a reflection of the densities and everything else, et cetera, for the city. So we're consistent with that one as well.
But I think it's
the consistency part.
Right. But I think it's important to understand that if a municipality says, we don't want to go after federal funding, we don't want to go after state funding, you're not bound to. That if you choose,
the state won't provide you any funding though to support your efforts. You're on your own.
You're on your own. And if the community says that's fine, that's the way we want to be, because we don't want to deal with whatever the feds or the state are going to require, well then you don't apply for funding. So they don't dictate, in that sense, they don't dictate what's in your plan. What's in your plan may affect your ability to obtain funds or not obtain funds, but they don't tell you what has to be in your plan. Every community makes its own decisions at the local level.